Yo, my 1v1 me fam, we are approaching end of season 1 of the My Player League. Hey y'all, $2,500 is on the line come July 28th when playoffs start. And as y'all know, I gave my first week predictions of who I thought was going to make playoffs. Then I gave my mid-season predictions, and then now it's time to give my end of season playoff prediction on who I think is going to make it in right now when we are a week and a half away from our July 28th season 1 playoffs. Let's get into it. All right, my first team, the 2K Twins. They're the #1 seed right now, man. I cannot lie, their record is 37-10. They're currently on a 12-game win streak, and they have 225 points, 25 whole more points than the next team. So I think they are definitely a lock to make it in the playoffs, because literally there's just a couple more days in this week and then the whole next week, and then we're literally there, and they have enough points where nobody's gonna knock them all the way down. Next, we got Team Takeover Season. I think they are definitely a lock too. They have 200 points right now. They're second, and they have the second best record in our 2v2 My Player League, being 35-12. The only team that's rivaled them this season is the 2K Twins, so that should be a really good matchup that we maybe see happen in the playoffs, but they are probably for sure a lock to make it in. Then we got Team A Cardi. They're third on our official leaderboards right now. They're most likely a lock as well. This was a sleeper team that I did not see low-key. They are on a roll right now, on an 8-game win streak with 195 points. I don't ever see them dropping out come July 28th, and I think that's going to be our last team that is like totally safe. Next, we got Team 2TAC. They're fourth on our official playoff leaderboards right now with a 20-19 record. They've actually turned it up a lot in this last two couple weeks. They've turned it up a lot, and they're at fourth. They're sitting comfortably at fourth with 180 points. They're not far off. Their points is not far off from 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th on our official playoff leaderboards. So Team 2TAC, I think, is still going to make it in though. They've been good this past 2 weeks, and I think they continue on that momentum. Another team we got is Team Swag X Godly. This team was a top 2 team for like the first 3-4 weeks of the season. Then they started dying down, slowing down a little bit. They got a 26-12 record. They're 6th on our official playoff leaderboards, but I don't see them dropping out. I think Swag in Miami is going to start turning it up a notch when it comes next week, the last week, and they're gonna have a secure spot. They're a tough team to beat. Then we got Team Blix. This team has been compared to last season, they've been they're 22-13, still got a good record, 5th on our official playoff leaderboards with 170 points, but they're not as good as what they compared to be last season, but I think they're still a lock. They got that playoff experience, so they could go on a far run. The next team that I think is a lock to make playoffs is Team Chad Benz. They're currently right now tied with Team KC Trappin with 160 points on our playoff leaderboard, but Chad Benz got the edge over him with lesser games played, so he holds that 8th spot. I think they turned it up a lot, Chad Benz and Meterman Losen, this last week, and they make it into playoffs. And then our last team is OFAB. They're 7th right now, but they're on a 2-game losing streak. They're 18-22. They got to get their momentum going. This can't be the week they just lollygag. They gotta win. I think they make it in over the other 2 sleeper teams that I got. So they're another team, the last team that I think is a lock to make it into playoff. And then my 2 sleeper teams is Team Lark. They're currently 10th right now on the official playoff leaderboards with 155 points. The 8th place team has 160 points, so they're just 5 points behind making it into playoff contention. And then my last team is Team KC Trappin. When it comes down to big moments, I have to see how No Travel, you know what I'm saying, performs. Like, this is going to be a big week for him. I have to see if he's going to fold under pressure or if he's going to rise to the occasion. That's why I have him in my sleeper, and I don't have him over Chad Benz and OFAB, which are the 2 teams that they are really close into taking their spot out of. All right, y'all, that's my top 8 teams that I think is going to make it into playoffs, my 2 sleeper teams. Y'all can compare it to my first week, my midweek, and then now my last week. Obviously, we had Team Drew DF drop out of the league and Team Draco, unfortunately. So, you know, my list had to change a little bit, but for the most part, I was pretty accurate, I think. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if y'all think any of the sleeper teams might beat out any, like the Chad Benz or OFABs. Let me know if you think what you think down below. But that's my playoff prediction. Playoffs start July 28th. You don't want to miss out on it. I'm out of here.